What happens is the gravity of the black hole is extreme, as you can imagine. Light doesn't even escape. It turns out on a black hole, the escape velocity is so high that speed of light is not good enough. So if light doesn't come out, nothing's coming out. It's black, you fall in, you're not coming out. It's a one-way trip. And you reach a point where, and they're called the tidal forces, tides on your body basically. The tidal force becomes so great that they exceed the intermolecular forces that bind your flesh. And so the point comes where you snap into two pieces, likely to happen at the base of your spine. These two pieces then feel tidal forces, and then they snap into two pieces. And then they snap again into 8, and then 16. And so that will continue until you are a stream of atoms descending toward the abyss. And it turns out that's not the worst of it. It turns out the fabric of space and time funnels down towards a black hole. So the space that you occupy up here is larger than the space you occupy down here. So in fact, while you're getting stretched, you're getting extruded through the fabric of space like toothpaste through a tube. We have a word for that. It's called spaghettification.
The boundary of the black hole would always increase. When two black holes collide and merge, the area of the final black hole is greater than the sum of the areas of the original holes. This suggested that the area of a black hole was like what is called the entropy in thermodynamics. There was a golden age in which we solved most of the major problems in black hole theory. This was before there was any observational evidence for black holes. To my great surprise, I found there seemed to be emission from the black hole. At first, I thought this must be a mistake in my calculation. The radiation from a black hole will carry away energy, so the black hole will lose mass and shrink. Eventually, it seems the black hole will evaporate completely and disappear. This raised a problem that struck at the heart of physics.